Here we have the new 2026 Toyota Camry. This one comes in the XLE trim level in heavy metal. And then we have black leather and Dynamica interior. The powertrain consists of a 225 horsepower, 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. It's a hybrid setup, made it to the electronically controlled, continuously variable transmission. Front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights. And I just have those running lights on now, but love the front fascia here. Nice look from the grille. I like just with the running lights going. It's a very, very futuristic look in my opinion. Down here, these wheels, these are gonna be 18-inch alloy. Nice design there as well. We get passive keyless entry on the front to the door panel. I like how they did this kind of carpeted material or whatever that is. That feels nice, looks nice. We have one-touch up and down windows on all 4 doors, rear window lock there, power door lock controls, and then our power mirror controls are here. We do get blind spot monitors in the side mirrors. Bottle holder there. And then down here we have our auto high beams, traction control, gas cap. Hood release is there. This one does include all-weather floor mats. We have a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then finally, here's our power driver's seat. We do get 2-way power lumbar support there, but really like the seats here, how they have leather in them. But I want to give a huge thanks to John Roberts Toyota here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and then I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever vehicle you might be interested in. Now, I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so sitting behind myself here, pretty good space. I could honestly lean that seat up a bit more, but pretty impressed by the overall space in the back. Seat back pockets are on both sides. We have our rear AC vents there, USB-C, USB-A charge ports down below. And there's a view of the front from back here. This middle seat folds down. Bottle holders are there. LED reading lights in the back. Grab handle, and if you want to hang your shirt or something there, you can. I'm just gonna give you a quick look at the child locks here. Lock, unlock, and then we're gonna open the gas cap just so you can see that. Now, as we come around to the back end, you can open the trunk from the back just by hitting this button here on the side, but I opened it from the front. But tons of space back here. I love how they kind of made the trunk area wider as opposed to the opening, so you can have stuff here on the side. This one does have, again, that all-weather mat in the back, and then you can pull either side to fold the seat down, and that's kind of the release from back here. And then you can lift this up down below, and you have your jack and whatnot, and then the spare is underneath there. Kind of hard to show you everything with one hand, so I apologize. But there's a look at the back end, LED tail lamps. So look underneath the car. You can see the exhaust as well. But I like how Toyota went all hybrid for their Camry lineup, because the fuel economy in these is just incredible. Now, if you release that lever in the back again, these will fold flat. Your top tethers for the car seats are actually integrated behind the seats themselves. And then you have your lower anchors down below these covers. But to the window sticker, y'all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything. And then a few options on this one, but for the most part, pretty much how it's equipped. 36,353. And then to our front passenger seat, we get a power seat back, seat bottom there. And then our glove compartment down below. And there are the owner's manuals in there. Now, as we come back around to the front, just a quick look in the engine bay. And again, that's a 225 net horsepower, 2.5 liter hybrid engine. But I'm gonna show off the blinkers. We get them in the side mirrors as well, and then up front. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat next. So I like this wrap steering wheel here. I believe it's Softex, feels nice though. There's the horn. And then over here to the radio, we do get the Experience Drive Connect if you want to hook up the cloud nav and use that. For audio, we do get our AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth. And then you have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility on top of having your Apple Music and Amazon Music if you want to hook those up. But a pretty simple setup here. Here's some of your AC controls if you want to use those options. And then you do have your general settings in here where you can change your language or units of measurement if you want to do that. Now, backup camera, you do get the guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then down below, you have those dual zone automatic climate controls and your heated steering wheel you can set up there. And then 3-stage heated seats. You can close off the vents to the back if you want to with that button and cut the whole system off here. Hazards are down below. Wireless charging pad on this side, and then you have a USB-A port which connects directly to the radio, and then 2 USB-C charge ports. Little storage area here while your phone's on the charger. And then for the shifter, just grab this lever, reverse, neutral drive. Come over here to get your sport shifts. And then you have your drive modes down below: Eco, Normal, Sport, EV mode. Then you have your automatic brake hold, your electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And then your center console cubby space is here, and you do get a 12 volt. There's a look at the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holder. Lights are here. Vanity mirror. Now back to the front, left side stalk. You can set your low beams there. And then you have your intermittent wipers on this side, one time off, intermittent low, high. We can adjust that intermittent frequency there. Pull up for that fluid in the front. It's getting hot in here. Now to the left side of the steering wheel, back button, phone button, and then these 4 arrows go through the middle part of your gauge cluster if you want to change what's shown there. A few other settings that you can go through. If you hold the OK button, you can adjust all of that. And then volume is here, voice recognition. You can go through your track list or radio station presets there, your audio sources here, and then all of this up here is for your driving support system. So you can go between adaptive and regular cruise here. And when the adaptive's on, you can adjust the gap here, set the speed, turn the lane keeping system on, and then you can activate this and you'll get the full driving support system, which includes that lane centering and adaptive cruise while you're on the interstate. Push button starts here. Finally, here's the key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Toyota Camry XLE out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Camry here, we get the standard hybrid powertrain. So the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4 cylinders mated with the electric motors there. And surprisingly, this thing drives at least as good as the outgoing standard 4-cylinder. You have more of that front end torque there from the electric motors. You have a bit more power in terms of your overall horsepower because you have the 4-cylinder as well as the horsepower from the electric motors. But what I really like about this is the I guess the diversity of it. You have the EV mode in the parking lot. You're able to basically get auto stop standard, because when you hit the brakes after you stop, the gas engine cuts off, so it saves you gas there. But it's just a very easy and very efficient way to drive, and I feel like Toyota kind of learned that from the Prius. The Prius is a great driving car. It's a very efficient car, but the Camry gives you more space. You feel like you have more of just a standard Camry as opposed to a Prius, you just still get that benefit of having the close to 50 miles per gallon city and highway fuel economy. And in eco mode here, it comes out of the corner beautifully. Not really feeling a change or a shift or a push going between the powertrain there when you go from electric mode to gas mode and all of that. You can hear it sometimes, but for the most part, it does a very good job at making it unnoticeable. Now, one of the great things about the Camry is I'm on this rougher industrial road, and still it's very tame in the cabin. Not really hearing a lot of road noise, not hearing a lot of wind noise. I feel like this is the Rolls Royce of hybrids here. It drives so nicely. I feel like they make a better hybrid than probably Bentley or whoever in terms of how quiet it is. And I haven't driven a Bentayga hybrid, so I can't say for certain, but it's very impressive in here in terms of the sound that's coming through from the outside world. Now, depending on who you are, this infotainment setup with the AC controls can be a good thing or a bad thing. So the newer Kias, I like that they have the almost like the soft touch buttons, and you can hit a button and go between the audio controls and the AC controls, but it's all built in here. But a lot of people, specifically those that can probably afford these cars, are going to appreciate having buttons down here. Your AC controls aren't on the screen and you have to do this and do that, and then it doesn't always read your fingers and whatnot. So it's nice that we still have what we know and love here in terms of buttons. If you want to turn the fan speed up or down, there you have it. Temperature, very easy to do. Even the heated seats, push a button. But it does make the interior seem a bit dated compared to a Tesla, compared to some of the newer Fords where everything's in the screen. But if that doesn't bother you, then you might like this 10 times better than having to go in the screen to push buttons. Now, I do want to give a big thanks once again to John Roberts Toyota here in Manchester, Tennessee, for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these, new or used, closer to home, click one of those links down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on a Camry or whatever vehicle you might be interested in. Now we're gonna put it into sport mode, and we're gonna see what it can do getting on the interstate here. Here we go. It's such a quick car for it to be a hybrid. And I mean, not really for it to be a hybrid, because again, you have that added power, but the power is incredible. It doesn't necessarily drive like you would expect, because you do have the ECVT, and it's a 4-cylinder, but it's pretty nice. So I have the full driving support system on now. Again, gets up to speed relatively, I shouldn't even say relatively, very nicely just in general. The driving dynamics are great. The ride quality is great. It's what you expect from one of the best-selling 4-door sedans on the market. And I think for the money, it's it checks off all the boxes. You have power, you have fuel efficiency, you have space in here. You have your wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, your lane centering, adaptive cruise, and all this right around $36,000, $37,000. It's a really good choice. But then you also think about in 2025 when this got its refresh, it was a beautiful car. It just looked so futuristic, almost like a concept to me. And you know, Toyota's been doing a really good job with how the vehicles look. People want to complain about getting the turbo 4s and the pickups and the 4Runners, and then the twin turbo V6s in the Sequoia and the Tundra. But I think they're making very smart choices, not only for emission standards, but also for your everyday driver. Will they last 400, 500,000 miles like the gas guzzling V8s? We don't know. But I can tell you from driving all of these cars, they drive nicely. They drive better, I think. Of course, they're more fuel efficient, and to me, they're more fun. But the effortless power you get from this, specifically in sport mode, is it's phenomenal. And the car itself is, again, I think just a very good choice if you're looking for a sedan, but really just any vehicle on the market. The Camry knocks it out of the park. So all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Toyota Camry XLE.